It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Washington Commanders and the Seattle Seahawks under the lights on Sunday night.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this was a team after the Russell Wilson trade that looked like they might be bottoming out. But for years, the Seahawks have had great success in the NFL draft, as you well know. And they've used the last few drafts to really restock this roster.
And they certainly have restocked this roster and have gotten back to playing football the way that they want to do it. Seahawks football, which means running the ball with authority on offense. They've added runners, offensive linemen, and now they're just being forceful in the way they're going about their business, the way that they did it when they ran the Super Bowls.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders, this is a team that many think could be the fourth best in the NFC East, but they've got a pretty strong defense that's going to probably keep them in some ball games.
Their investment in talent has certainly paid off. Number 4 against the pass a season ago. Number 4 overall in total defense. Nothing to shake a stick at. If they get good quarterback play, look out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
When the Seahawks named Smith the starter last season, it gave him an opportunity he wasn't sure he would get again. And then he became one of the best quarterbacks in football and sustained it across a full 17 games, winning Comeback Player of the Year. Saved his career with last season and keeps the Seahawks as true contenders.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right out of the gates, here's Smith. That's to the rookie, Jackson Smith-Njigba. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Smith. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 31-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. From the gun, here's Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Here's Walker. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
As long as you've been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Walker once more, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Seahawks will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Throwing on 1st down, Zambrano. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the 1st down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off the play fake. Zambrano. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match. And maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it, got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. Took the O, the option out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
But backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Zambrano. And that is incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the right hash, this from 53. Sly able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Tyler Lockett now with the return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, then he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
On first down, Smith. He completes this to Walker. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, it's Walker. And once again, the Commander defense stout against the run game. They drop him for a second straight play. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down. Now Geno. They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So, Charles, take nothing away from the... I think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with.
There he goes, left side. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
A gain of 34 yards. And the Commanders first down.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Commanders 3.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now a throw here to his running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
Off play action. Zambrano. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing now is Geno. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington. And now 4th down.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Myers' kick is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Byron Pringle now to return it. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now the second-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
To throw on 3rd down, Zambrano. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And complete to Smith and Jigba. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Left side here, taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes. But receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on in the secondary.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to throw, Smith. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. Outright to Smith and Jigba. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll try for the first with Walker. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. It's Walker, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out left to Dotson. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2. From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Zambrano. Open man is Samuel. Complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st down, Zambrano. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, Zambrano. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now Geno on first down. Smith and Jigba with a grab. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup at 12 for the first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Now it's Smith. And this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It's a pickup of 3 on the play, but with it, time has run out on the first half of play. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. For the Seahawks in the first half, they were led by their quarterback, Geno Smith. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. (17-3) the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Throwing to start the drive. Zambrano, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf from 21 yards away. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game, so they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Washington offense back out there. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On 1st and 10, Zambrano. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Zambrano steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Uchenna-Nwosu, his 2nd sack of the night.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Returnable for Lockett. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
After the interception, here's Smith.
He finds Smith and Jigba.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at their 44-yard line.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Smith
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Back to the air, Smith on second down. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Seahawks are able to extend their lead. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Commanders 3.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This taken in right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league where we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and it kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. But I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going. And that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now Geno setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Geno. And this is going to be incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
On the set.
Throwing to start the drive. Zambrano. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Zambrano. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first down. Zambrano over the middle, brought in by Dotson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 50-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to throw again. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Back to Walker on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Walker with another carry.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Geno now to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And a good-looking run there. It's going to take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 58 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
So the victory here for Seattle. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.